and thank you for joining us. So my name is Zoe Clark. I'm Senior Self-Management Programme Officer here at NASS, and this evening I'm joined by Jamie Boder, who is a yoga teacher and co-founder of Yoga for AS. Hi Jamie, thanks for joining. How are you doing?
Hi Zoe, well thank you, and hello everyone watching live and also those watching the recording later on.
Brilliant. So yeah, tonight's session, if you've seen the adverts, I'm going to hand over to Jamie shortly for a nice comfortable session of yoga from the comfort of your own bed. So hopefully this will be helpful either as a nice relaxing session that you can do before drifting off to sleep, help you wind down, or something to do first thing in the morning before getting out of bed to help loosen off any joint stiffness and any muscle soreness as well. As always with these practical exercise sessions, do join in with however much it feels comfortable. The video will stay on our page afterwards. You can always sit back and relax and watch the video, and then you can always join in later in your own time or after you've checked with your healthcare professionals to make sure it's suitable for you. And yeah, especially on this warm evening, make sure you've got some water handy just in case you need it, and somewhere comfortable to join in. So before I hand over, Jamie, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and Yoga for AS?
Sure. So first on the fact that I have AS, like all of you, so understand what it's like to live with this condition. And as a consequence, me and Jeff, who also has AS, co-founded Yoga for AS. So we're an organisation that teaches yoga modified for people with AS. We do live classes running every week, and we also have a virtual yoga library with 20 different courses for the whole array of presentations that AS presents itself. You know, there's no one AS, there's so many ways that it presents, and we do our best to try and make individualized catered yoga to really help what people are experiencing, whether that be fatigue or stiffness in certain areas and pain as well.
That's fantastic, thank you. And yeah, always delighted when you and Jeff can join us and run these sessions, because it is really great having people who are not only yoga experts, but of course AS experts as well, so you can really tailor the sessions. So I can see, thank you, and I can see people are joining us. So I think if you're happy to, I can hand over to you for the practical session, but for everyone watching, do feel free to pop any questions in the comments, because we'll have some time at the end to answer those as well. So if you've got any yoga related questions, do pop them in there, and we'll have a chat afterwards.
Absolutely. So thanks so much, Zoe. And the key thing to say with questions, that there's no wrong questions, so do feel free to ask anything and we can go through that at the end of the session. So just a few housekeeping. Obviously this is yoga from a bed, and there's a lot of good reasons why it's nice to do yoga from a bed. It means that we can do practices that doesn't involve getting up and down from the floor, which we hear quite often from our members and people that come in, that can sometimes be a challenge. So that's one really good reason. It's more soft, it's easier on the joints. Bit of housekeeping: if you have available pillows, get as many as you can. There's no limit. And if you also have a belt of sorts, now this is a yoga strap, you don't have to use a yoga strap, you can just use any belt, any like a belt that goes around a towel robe, anything like that. It's not essential, we just may use it a few times during this session. So we're going to be doing this whole session lying down on our backs, just keeping it simple. This is not the last and only way to practice yoga from bed. It's just a demonstration to how simple it really can be, just lying down on our backs. We'll do some nice, gentle, relaxing, restorative yoga practices, and then end with deeper relaxation at the end. So without further ado then, we'll get started. And we're going to begin with lying down and supporting the head with a pillow if you need. So this is a really important point. If you feel the chin is dropping back, make sure that you have some support under the head. And from there, ensure that you're feeling comfortable with the buttocks on the bed. You can also elevate them as well with a pillow. What we're going to do next is take the hands and interlace underneath the left thigh. Allow the shoulders to relax down. From here, we're going to gently lift the left leg up towards the ceiling. You don't have to go far. You may just go to somewhere of an elevation, or you may go further. And when you reach the top, wherever that is for you, you then flex the left foot towards the face and slowly draw it down. So we're going to do 9 more of these. So on the inhale, you draw the left leg up. Flex the left foot towards the face, and on the exhale, you draw it down. So keeping this going. Inhaling as you go up, and then flexing towards the face and drawing down. So this is beginning just to work a bit of dynamic flexibility. Most of this practice is going to be quite still and restorative, just to get a bit of movement into the lower body here. Make sure you keep breathing. So you may have already reached 10, but we're going to just do 2 more wherever you are. And on the last one, you're going to hold it at the top position. So top position, as I said, doesn't have to be a straight leg. So this is the first option, to keep this interlaced position underneath the left thigh. Or you can, as I mentioned just at the beginning, use a belt or a strap and take that around the left foot and gently use that with the left hand or the left and right hand to draw the left leg up. But you don't have to have a straight leg, as I said. It's just coming to the point where you feel the stretch and just finding some stillness from there. To make this more intense, if you'd like a deeper stretch, you can extend the right leg as well. So with all of these poses, I'm going to show different options. You don't have to always do the last, and you don't have to do the first. It's about saying, okay, what's right for me today? Not expecting this or that from yourself, but just arriving at what is going to serve you most and be most kind on your body. You can always have a little rest before coming back in. Just be here for one more breath in and out. And whenever you're ready, slowly lowering down and releasing. Before we do the other side, just having a rest in the center, arms by the side, feet on the bed. Just re-establishing anything. For example, we may have felt the chin dropping back, just maintaining a bit of retraction, shoulders relaxing down. And we're going to do the other side now. So we interlace underneath the right leg, keeping the elbows dropping down, trying to avoid lifting too much. And then lifting the right foot up towards the ceiling, pointing it away, kind of like a ballerina. We're pointing the foot with a bit of stretch across the top of that right foot. Flex the right foot towards the face and then draw it down. So as I mentioned on the other side, you don't have to straighten the leg whatsoever. It might just be a little lift. Or it might be a bit higher up. There's no right and wrong. Just find what feels right for you today. So we're going to work up to 10 repetitions, doing this in your own time, because we will have a slightly different pace. So we're just working up to 10, inhaling as you go up, exhaling as you go down. And when you reach 10, you can go straight into the static position if you get there before me. Okay, so on the last one, you may already be there. If not, we will come into this static position using either the strap or belt, or keeping just the interlace position underneath the thigh. So you don't have to use the strap, you can just simply use the hands there.
We're going to find where feels most appropriate for us. It's not trying to force the position. As soon as you feel the stretch, that's where you stop and breathe. Keep a nice little bend in the knee. And as I said, it might be a lot less straight, it might be more straight. There's no better or worse. As the other side, you have the option to extend the left leg as well if you'd like a deeper stretch. Noticing if you're holding the breath. Noticing if you're feeling the breath in the upper chest. Instead, can we see if we can encourage the diaphragm to expand, the belly to rise, and breathing through the nose if you can. All of this just helps to encourage the body to relax more into the stretch. As I said on the other side, have a break if you wish. You can do that throughout the practice. If you ever need a break, you take one. Whenever you're ready, slowly lowering that down. And again, just taking the feet back onto the bed, arms by the side, taking a breath. Okay, so up next we're going to do a pose called elevated bridge. So we're going to elevate the hips and use one pillow to start with. You're going to place this underneath the buttocks and try and avoid it having too much on the lower back. So there's no kind of exact precise point to place because it's going to just feel better on different areas for some people, but just play around with this. And you start with one pillow, and if you'd like to make this a deeper stretch, you make more pillows underneath. So you can go for 2 or 3, and if it feels uncomfortable kind of having to thrust the hips up and to do that, you can gently come onto one side. This, I would say, is going to be a nicer option. That's the greatness about using a bed. You can just come to one side, add as many pillows as you'd like. I'd always just start by adding 1, try that first. So start with 1, try that, then 2, try that, and then go back into the position. So this is where we begin. This is our elevated bridge. This is a very gentle movement that provides some extension for the spine. You can take the pressure off the area around the pelvis and SI joint. And if you would like to make this a deeper stretch, you can extend one leg, see how that feels. You can try the other leg, or both legs extended. And if you're not feeling too much sensation, you may just need more elevation underneath the hips. As I said, you can just add more. For some, 1 or 2 may be enough. For some, for others, you might need a little bit more than that. So we're allowing the body to be completely passive here. Try to avoid the muscular engagement in the body and instead just allow ourselves to be as we are. Slowing down our breath. Focusing on extending the exhalations. And at this point, you may find that perhaps the sensation's changed and you may need less pillows underneath. You might want to take one away, or equally, you might want to add one at this point as well. This is also providing a gentle stretch for the psoas muscle, very top of the thighs. And in this style of yoga, it's not really about sort of muscular engagement. It's instead about finding a position and then allowing the body to rest. So this is a restorative pose. It will spend some longer time in than perhaps traditional stretches. Okay, from here, I'm going to take the feet, if they were extended, back onto the floor. Then I'm going to gently hug the left leg in. So you don't have to pull with all your might. It's just about a gentle interlace, allowing the shoulders to relax down and drawing the left leg in until you begin to feel a bit of a stretch into that left hip. A bit of compression here as well. So you have the option to keep the right foot where it is or extend the right leg. By extending the right leg, it would be a more intense option, deeper stretch. For a more gentle option, you keep the right foot on the floor. And you can use a strap as another option as well, just around that left thigh, which may be just a nice way to kind of gently pull it in without having to kind of hold around it. You might need a longer position to do that though. But for most people, the interlace will probably be more comfortable and accessible. This is a good pose for helping to stabilize the pelvis region, the SI. Many find this one very helpful for discomfort in the sacroiliac joints. Just taking 2 more breaths here, wherever you are. Seeing if you can encourage yourself to breathe through the nose. Or releasing whenever you're ready. We'll go to the other side now, so hugging that right knee in. You can hug underneath the right knee or underneath the right thigh. Just try not to push onto the knee itself. Establish a comfortable position where you're feeling the stretch. And then with the option to extend the left leg. So once you find the pose, it's important just to see if we can begin to encourage ourselves to find some stillness. If we ever need to adjust or anything, that's absolutely fine. But by finding some stillness in the pose, a lot of building more flexibility is actually got to do with our nervous system as well. And by relaxing into a stretch, we're helping to encourage the body to adapt to the position. Because if we force ourselves right into a stretch straight away, the body goes, well, I'm not ready for this, and it will actually contract and tighten up. So if we just start gently, ease our way into it, find a position, stop there when you feel the stretch and breathe, the body becomes more receptive to become more open, release more tension, tightness. Whenever you're ready, releasing there. And from here, we're going to come into our next position, which is our bound angle pose as it's called. So feet together and the knees falling open. Now, right away, if this is a too intense stretch in the groin, you've got lots of options. One option is to have pillows either side of the hips, as I'm demonstrating here. This is a really nice option. And you can have more than kind of one pillow. The more pillows, the gentle this will be, because by the knees dropping all like further down, it will become a deeper stretch, and by the knees just dropping down slightly, it will be more gentle. So that's one option. The other option is to use a belt or a strap and make a position that's somewhat wider than hip distance apart. You may need to adjust that if you made a specific loop. And as I'm demonstrating here now, you've got the support of the belts to stop the knees falling any further. So you can do this together with the belts and the pillows, or just the belts alone, or the pillows alone. So this is a nice gentle opening for the groin. And at this point, you may find that having a pillow underneath you feels too much, and you can release that, or you may find that it's actually really nice. So we're staying in that elevation. And with this particular use of a belt, you can just release it further if you want to make it a deeper stretch. So make the belt wider for a deeper stretch and narrower for a more gentle stretch. Quite normal in these very still poses for the mind to wander and start thinking. It's completely normal. All there is to do is just gently come back to here and now. That might be noticing the sensation you're experiencing in the body. Might be noticing the rhythm of your breathing, the sound in the room. When your mind wanders, just gently returning back to here and now and beginning again. So this is an introduction really to a mindfulness meditation practice. Each one of these poses gives us the opportunity to find ourselves more present and know that it's normal for the mind to wander. You should never judge yourself if that happens. It's gently reminding yourself to return to here and now. Notice if the chin is dropping back slightly, and to maintain a bit of retraction here. You have the option to have the arms up over the head into like a wide cactus position. You want to get a nice stretch into the shoulders and the pectoral muscles. You can place the arms really wherever you like. Whenever you're ready, gently taking the hands to either side of the legs, drawing the legs back in. If you had a belt, releasing that. Taking the feet back on to the floor. Just having a rest here. You may want to gently allow the knees to just drop into one another. Nice gentle counter stretch. Gentle bit of internal rotation for the hips here. And up next, we're going to keep the feet on the floor and then lift the left leg up and take the left calf onto the right thigh. This feels a bit too much. You can straighten the right leg and have the left leg just below the right knee. So that's another option, which would be just a more gentle stretch for that left hip. Or we keep the leg extended and then gently begin to lift up. The higher we lift that right leg, so if the right leg is really quite bent and right foot is closer in, this will be a deeper stretch. If it gently moves away, it will just become more gentle. So close in, deeper for that left hip and left glutes, further away, a little bit less. So instead of trying to, sometimes we say like hold on under the left thigh, instead just encouraging your body to be completely passive here. And if you're not feeling much for stretch, as I said, draw that right foot closer in. This is our reclined pigeon pose, or one option as such. A good one if you ever get tightness in the hips and the glutes. This also helps to relieve discomfort in the lower back, because the connection between this area and lower back. Allowing the shoulders to relax down. And you can have the arms in any position that feels comfortable. From here, we're going to now just release and go into the other side. So right foot, the left thigh, or should I say right calf, as opposed to the foot, definitely not the foot, sorry. The right calf on the left thigh. And the closer that left leg is in, the deeper this will feel. Further away, more gentle, and you can extend the leg as well. Which may, if you allow the knee to completely relax, may also be quite an intense stretch. It's just playing around with where that foot goes. That left foot goes. Finding the position where you can feel this nice opening in that right hip, right glute. And just finding some stillness. Notice if your mind perhaps has wandered off, just gently coming back to here and now. Noticing the most predominant sensation you're experiencing. Releasing whenever you're ready. We're going to go back into pigeon on the other side. So now we've got the left calf back on the right thigh or below the right knee, with the leg extended. And again, playing around with the distance of that right foot, closer in, deeper stretch, further away, more gentle. And now we're going to gently just change one thing up, which is guiding that left knee towards the right shoulder. So it's going slightly across the body. You can hold on wherever feels comfortable. It's just trying to avoid actually holding on to the knee. And gently, it's only a slight movement. You're not trying to force this position. It's just a gentle, try and keep both buttocks on the floor. It's a gentle movement where you draw the left knee, left leg towards the right shoulder. Towards being the keyword, definitely nowhere near. And that will just deepen this stretch and change up where you feel this more predominantly. Once you've found that position, you just stop there and breathe, and you don't have to be moving it very much. Slowing your breathing down. And releasing whenever you're ready. And coming into the other side. So the left leg can be closer in or further away. Whatever feels comfortable. And then we're going to guide the right knee towards the left shoulder, towards being the key word. It's only a very subtle movement. It's like a half an inch movement. Just if the chin is dropping back, gaining some length in the back of the head. Noticing if your mind has begun to wander off. Just coming back to the most predominant sensation, asking yourself the question, where am I feeling this in the body? Whenever you're ready, releasing that position and coming into some stillness. Okay, so from here, you may want to just come off the bed briefly to re-establish this next position, or you can listen first and see if you need to. We're going to create some support that will be for underneath the mid-back. So we need something for the mid-back and a pillow at the back for the head. So you want to create with a pillow, like a sausage shape. Like that. One will be enough for most people. If you need more, you can use two and place one on top of each other. And we're going to place this not vertically, but horizontally on the bed. As you can see, I've got this kind of sausage shape now, and then that's where my head will be at the back. We're going to lie back on where the shoulder blades meet the mid section of the spine. So if this feels complicated, one thing to think about is imagine the breastbone and sternum, and imagine you're going to draw a line around, and it's that point at the back where you're going to lie back onto the position and then have the head supported by a pillow. So this will provide a bit of an opening in the chest, the pectoral muscles, the sternum, breastbone. And you have lots of options here. You can have the arms by the side, you can have the arms up overhead, you could have the arms into a cactus shape. Whatever's going to allow for you to feel a nice opening in the chest. And as I said, you can actually, if you feel like you need a deeper sensation, a deeper stretch, just place two rolled up pillows underneath you. A roll up towel would also work as well. And this is really about finding the position and then focusing on some deep diaphragmatic breaths. So just as an experiment, you can take the hands to the lower two ribs, and as you inhale, you want to feel the expansion of those lower two ribs, and as you exhale, the contraction. You don't want to be breathing into the upper chest. You want the breath to be guided into the diaphragm, which will help greater diaphragmatic expansion, which is important in AS. Helps the rib cage to keep moving. We're doing our best to just slow our breathing down. So you can take the hands off the lower two ribs if you were placing them there. And place them wherever feels comfortable, wherever you can begin to get a nice opening. Up overhead or by the side. Doing your best to slow your exhales down. Just going to encourage the body to drop into the relaxation response. Be here for quite some time. You can always adjust, make a lower position, higher position. Just allowing the body to be as it is, passive and relaxed. Whenever you're ready now, just going to gently roll to one side. Again, you may want to just come off the bed or remove what's underneath you. And up next, we're going to make sure we're lying in the middle of the bed. I'm just going to move these pillows off. Overdone it a little bit with the pillows, but that's fine. And then we're going to have a pillow between the thighs. And from here, make sure the head is supported. We're going to gently squeeze that pillow for the count of 3, 2, 1, and then relax. You may want to add 2 pillows for this, or 1. And then go again for the count of 3, 2, 1, and relax. I'm going to do 3 more. Squeeze for 3, 2, 1. Squeeze for 3, 2, 1, relax. We're going to do a count of 5 on the last one. So whenever you're ready, squeezing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. So that's one that can help to stabilize the SI joint. Just a nice little gentle exercise there. And we're going to keep the pillow between the thighs. Head is supported, and then take another pillow. You don't need to do this, but it's a nice option to have and see how you get on, to the outside edge of the right leg. So the outside edge of the right leg, you've got another pillow. So pillow for the head, pillow between the thighs, pillow to the outside edge of the right leg. Arms outside wide like a capital letter T. And then whenever you're ready, dropping the knees down to the right. Coming to a reclined twist. So we've got these options with the knees supporting the pillow and the outside of the leg. and the head. You can remove all of these or just one if you would like this to become a deeper stretch. In terms of rotation for the head, before we do any rotation, notice if the chin is dropping back, we want to make sure we feel space in the back of the head first. For more ease in the neck, we look over the right side. For a deeper rotation, we look over the left. If you'd like to make this, remove the that was outside right leg, and you gently take the right hand to the outside edge of the left leg and guide it down. So this is providing us opening the side of the left side. It's a gentle twist for the spine. Bit of a stretch for the left glutes as well. Slowing your breathing down. Allowing the eyes to soften, the jaws begin to relax. Whenever you're ready, there's no rush. Draw the legs back to center. Again, if you use the pillow on one side for the outside edge of the right leg, you can do the same for the other. Take a breath in the center and then drop the knees down. Again, you can stay here. If you want to make this a deeper stretch, you can remove them. If you still take the left hand to the outside edge of the right leg. Option to look over the left side for a more gentle rotation. Make sure that you're not too close to the edge of the bed as well. That's why I said do it from the center. Or if you're dropping the knees to the left, you may want to be closer to the right side of the bed to give you more space here. And then again, for a deeper rotation on the neck, look over the right side. There's no right and wrong here though. So wherever feels comfortable, over the neck will be, over the left side will be more gentle, over the right will be a little bit more of an intense one. Whenever you're ready, there's no rush. Draw the legs back to center. Removing the pillow that was between the legs. From here, you're just going to gently hug the knees in. So this might be hugging under the thighs as opposed to below the knees, wherever feels comfortable. And you may want to just gently rock from side to side, feeling a nice bit of movement across the back. Before coming to a still position, we're going to come into some relaxation now. So you have lots of options. If you ever experience cramping in the lower back or the SI joints, keep the feet on the floor. And in addition to that, you can actually use a strap and take a strap around the thighs and make sure that it's more narrow than we had earlier on. So that hip distance, have it back there, feet on the floor, arms by the side, palms open. You can also have more pillows underneath the back if you wanted to have even more support, but obviously with a bed, it's going to be more comfortable. If you would like to extend the legs out long, you can do so and then have a few pillows underneath the kneecaps, which just provide a nice soft bend in the knees and make this more comfortable. And you can also make the hips wherever you pose, you will just elevate the hips with a pillow, which will just provide some additional support. So there's no right and wrong here. The key is what position feels comfortable for you. And that might actually just be lying where you would when you sleep or ever have a rest. So you don't have to lie in this way, per se. We're going to just spend some time to begin to slow our breath down. Focus on extending our exhalations. Coming in to breathe quietly, softly, and gently. Can we maintain the breath coming in and out through the nose? This isn't about taking loud, big breaths. Taking quiet, slow, and deep breaths into the diaphragm, which we mentioned earlier. You can even place the hands briefly on the lower two ribs. And do your best to maintain that diaphragmatic breathing. You can find a rhythm that helps to encourage you to focus on extending your exhalations, so you could breathe in for 2, out for 4, breathe in for 3, out for 6, or in for 4, out for 8, and so on. By encouraging the exhale to be longer than the inhale, it helps to bring the body into the relaxation response, where we lower the heart rate, we relax the muscles, we send a signal to the body that we're safe. Helps us to relax deeper. So for the next few minutes, do your best to focus on these extended exhalations, quietening the breath through the nose, diaphragm expanding and contracting, the belly rising and falling. It's not about trying to force the breath in or out. Just begin to find a comfortable breathing pattern where you're focusing on slowing the breath in and then slowing the breath out even longer than the inhale. And every breath you take, feeling the body begin to relax more down into the bed below you. And allowing your breath to come back to its natural rhythm now without the need for you to do anything at all. So no need to breathe in any way, just allow your breath to be natural. Spending a few minutes in silence here. Noticing the body resting in the bed, the back of the head, the shoulders, the arms, the elbows. Noticing from the neck all the way down the spine to the pelvis, the buttocks, the back of the legs, below the knees, into the calves, the heels. Noticing the body resting down. Noticing the areas of the body now that are facing the ceiling. Temples, the eyebrows, the space between the brows, the eyes, the eyelids, the mouth, the jaw, the chin and throat, collarbones, chest, belly, front of the pelvis, down the thighs, to the knees, shins, the ankles, the tops of the feet and the toes. Noticing the body open towards the ceiling. for the next minute or so. We're just going to be silent. If your mind wanders and drifts off, just gently come back to the natural rhythm of your breath, in and out, and begin again. Beginning to take some more audible breaths now. Perhaps begin to move the fingers and toes, the ankles and wrists. Perhaps reaching the arms up overhead, and by your side. Big stretch, big yawn. If you're practicing this as a recording, this may be a time to transition straight to sleep. But if you want to get on with the rest of your day, move out of this practice, just gently rolling onto one side, resting there. Whenever you're ready, gently just transitioning up to the edge of the bed or any comfortable seated position. Just noticing how you're feeling in the body now compared to when you began practice. Noticing any shifts in how you're feeling. Any change, any difference is all down to you showing up and taking the time out of your day to do something for you. So really important to acknowledge that. So it's been an absolute pleasure taking you through this practice. If you would like to learn more, we're going to talk about that in a moment. But please do ask any questions and we can talk through any questions you have about yoga for AS. So thanks a lot, everyone, and take care.
That was wonderful. Thank you so much. Looked so relaxing.
Yeah, luckily not in a biggest heat wave that we've had. If that was yesterday or the day before, I think it would have been a bit too hot for anyone.
Absolutely, yeah. And yeah, for anyone watching who is a bit too warm to have done the full practice, or I saw a few people joined us partway through, the video will stay on our Facebook page afterwards, so you can come back and do it any time, to just before bed, or if you're having trouble sleeping, there'll be a lovely relaxing practice to do just to help ease things off and help you relax as well. Thank you, Jamie. That was really fantastic. So for anyone watching, do pop any questions for Jamie in the comments there. I've not had any questions coming through yet. I think everyone's been doing the practice along with you and enjoying it, so that's really great to see.
Yeah, no worries. It can be about anything, not just in relation to this particular practice. It can be about any of the styles or classes we do, what we're doing with the virtual library as well. I mentioned that at the start, but we've just released that. It's 20 yoga courses, all modified for people with AS, and there's a lot on there to go and explore. So that's one thing to look out for as well on our website.
Absolutely, and you've got a Facebook group as well, haven't you? So you've created that whole community around it. So yeah, do feel free to tell people about that.
Yeah, we've got a Facebook group. It's just called Yoga for AS. I'm sure Zoe can provide the links, but there's about 3,000 members on there now, and all people with AS exploring, practicing yoga modified for this condition. So it's a really nice, positive, supporting community, and people are sharing kind of, the other week people were posting some of the pictures they had of they have some dogs and cats joining in with their class, and everyone's kind of just joining in and showing the funny pictures they had with their with doing yoga and their dogs and cats interrupting. So it's sometimes we'll have kind of serious more in-depth conversations about yoga and what things we can help to relieve symptoms and help to manage things like fatigue and stiffness and things like that. But sometimes it's just light-hearted, people interacting with one another, and it's a really nice community.
Oh, that's really great to hear, and yeah, it's nice to have that support and people who certainly with AS know what you're going through as well. I can certainly vouch for that. Trying to do yoga with a cat is very difficult.
Yeah,
I got into a phase of leaving my mat out in the living room ready for the morning so I could do yoga first thing. And I decided within a few days I could see that he was just using it as a scratching mat through the night. So that didn't last very long.
Yeah, not so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, just reach out if you have any questions about, if you're seeing this as a recording as well, you can leave questions, reach out to us. You can learn more about everything on our website, and as well, we do one-to-one sessions if you ever want to join in for one of those as well.
Brilliant, thank you. And we've had a comment from Mandy saying, much appreciated, feel quite relaxed. That's really great to hear.
Good stuff. Love to hear it.
Wonderful. So yeah, I mean, what I'll do is I'll keep an eye on the comments over the next few days. So if we do have any questions from anybody watching on catch up, then I can pass them over to you, Jamie, if you don't mind, and we can respond to those. But yeah, absolutely do get in contact with the team and join the community as well, and take advantage of all those resources because they are fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's been a pleasure taking everyone through this class, and you know, thanks NASS for having us on. And we've got, I think, another session planned later on this year, so stay tuned for that as well.
Yeah, we've already got Jeff in the diary, 11th of October, so we've booked him in nicely ahead. So and that's going to be focusing on hips, pelvis, and sacroiliac joints as well. So an area that I know lots of people, myself included, have difficulty with. So I think that'll be a really popular one as well.
Great.
Brilliant.
So, thanks, Sally.
Thanks again, Jamie. It's been a fantastic session. And as I said at the beginning, we'll pop this on our YouTube page, our My Life webpage as well. And it will stay on Facebook too, so you can come back and do the practice anytime. And just to let everyone know, for the next couple of sessions throughout August, we've got a couple of sessions with NASS Bristol branch. So there's some live physio-led exercises, so you can join in with the branch and get a taster of it before seeing if you want to join their regular sessions. So thanks again, Jamie, and yeah, thank you everyone for joining, and hope you enjoyed it, and see you all in a couple of weeks.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care.